While 100 million people were watching the Super Bowl, Israel used it as an opportunity to bombard Rafah while everyone was distracted and enjoying themselves. At least 67 Palestinians were killed in the attack. Now, some of you may be thinking, that name Rafah sounds weirdly familiar. That's because Rafah was supposed to be a safe zone. That's because thousands and thousands of Palestinians have gathered in Rafah, South Gaza, by the Rafah crossing to receive aid. And while you have Israelis blocking the aid from reaching the Palestinian families who need it, you simultaneously have Israeli military shooting Palestinians like fish in a barrel in what was supposed to be a safe zone. Oh, and Israel was very deliberate and very explicit about their intent to use the Super Bowl to cover for yet another war crime. Here you can see in this tweet that they're once again trying to pretend like their genocide in Gaza is really about, the 136 hostages. They even aired a Super Bowl ad, once again making mention of the 136 hostages, as if that makes it okay to genocide tens of thousands of people, including women and children. I'm not gonna lie to you people. I find it funny that they keep bringing up this 136 hostages nonsense. I'm gonna tell you why. See, they're doing it because they want to make you think that their genocide is about the hostages. But what they failed to mention is the fact that Hamas tried to initiate a 100% hostage exchange months ago, and Israel refused. See, what they failed to mention is that by Israel's own sources, there aren't 136 hostages even left. It's closer to 106 because Israel's bombardments have killed 30 of the hostages. They pretend it's about the hostages, but they forget to mention in their ad that they killed 3 Israeli hostages themselves while they were waving white flags. They sniped them down, cold blood. They pretend it's about the hostages, but they forget to mention that they gassed one of their own soldiers. And when the mob came out and tried to expose them, they took the name off the gravestone of the soldier that they killed and chastised the mom, trying to silence her. They pretend the genocide is about the hostages, yet they forget to mention their own Hannibal directive in that ad. The Hannibal directive that specifically dictates that Israel kills its own hostages. And finally, they don't even realize that they're accidentally justifying what happened on October 7th by trying to use hostages to justify genocide. Because before October 7th, they had thousands of Palestinian civilians held hostage without charge. So by Israel's own piss poor logic, what happened on October 7th, well, Israel deserved it, according to Israel's own logic. Which means this genocide isn't actually justified because, well, Israel said as long as you got hostages, the other country whose hostages you're holding, they can do whatever they want without penalty. But at the end of the day, it can be withholding aid, it can be committing genocide, it can be a blockade, it can be kettling women and children into an area that you call a safe zone and then shooting them like fish in a barrel. They're going to use whatever excuse they can to justify being absolute monsters. And I really hope that no one fell for that bullshit during the Super Bowl, because they're not the victims. Those Palestinians are. And we can't forget that.
I can't even enjoy like our Super Bowl win. You know what I mean? I told you guys like I'm cursed in a way. I'm cursed because I can't turn this shit off, especially since I am an active citizen journalist, an active organizer, and someone who I put so much focus, so much attention on this, and I have for years. Ever since that day I went viral where I quit my job and I started working on the Bernie campaign and went to South Carolina, there's never been a break for me. You guys know that. That's like my burden, the curse of RBN. The curse of RBN is people asking, we get criticized because we haven't like started a revolution. You know what I mean? We trying to game plan how to change the system because of what I do. I can't turn off what I see, especially the issues that I focus on. You guys know I focus on state violence, foreign policy. So we have Kansas City, very festive here. It's always fun. right? This is our second Super Bowl we won. Me personally, yeah, I don't take like it's not my accomplishment. That's how I always felt. Like it would have been way better if it was in high school. I was super into football and basketball and rooting for teams back then. As I got older, after my teenage years, but I do enjoy it because it's festive. Like the whole city is partying, and you get caught up in the positive emotions that everyone have. It's a few times you feel a sense of community. Everyone can't say, "Hey, what's up, brother? How about them Chiefs? How about them Chiefs?" Meanwhile, you have me with my broken brain, chilling with my family, pretending to enjoy the show. I was just seeing what's going on in Rafah, where you had Super Bowl massacre that was trending on Twitter because the Israeli government is filled with the most evil psychopaths on the planet. So they decided to do this raid during the Super Bowl. The raid that was even condemned, well, passively by the countries that support Israel. Everyone knew that Rafah was off limit. That's the area they was told to evacuate. So Israel decides to do this during the Super Bowl, when everyone is distracted. Not only is everyone distracted, they ran Super Bowl ads pretending that they care about the hostages in Israel, despite the fact that they declined hostage deals with Hamas, as you guys see Nico explain. He killing in hotspot videos. They are indiscriminately killing civilians. No one can make the argument that they're at war with Hamas. They did this because they know this is an act of genocide, and they wanted to do this while the American people was not paying attention. And during the Super Bowl massacre, which was obviously planned, it was obviously planned out that we're going to do this Rafah raid during the middle of the night, during the Super Bowl while people are distracted. And during this time, you had Biden tweet this out. Unbelievable how tone deaf liberals are and Joe Biden is. The Dark Brandon shit never worked, and especially doesn't work as you're funding a genocide. The idea of a snappy, don't give a fuck president, that shit is not cool. We are funding war. So then Joe Biden tweeted this out, and guys, I promise you, this is the real account. Because when I first saw this shit, I thought this was a parody account. So as you had the Rafah massacre going on, which was designed to happen as Americans are distracted, we have Joe Biden that says, just like we drew up. Yeah, this is exactly how you guys drew it up. So in response to seeing this, I checked. I was like, bro, this is the real account of the president. As Israel is launching a massacre against Palestinians, he tweeted this out in the Super Bowl to keep everyone distracted from what's going on in Rafah. So I send out, by far, my most liked tweet ever. My friends, my family. Joe Biden's tweet got 214 million impressions, about 500,000 likes. So this was like Democratic Party bought it up. So I come here, and I got here pretty early. Well, I said, this is a wild thing to post as Israel's committing a massacre right now. And I got 97,000 likes on that. Jesus Christ. Because when Joe Biden sent this out, it was like, everyone was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Tweeting this as there's a massacre going on in Rafah. And Twitter trying their best to suppress it. I'm going to show you guys that here very soon. Oh, look at this. This is one of them shit libs. Because I dunked on Biden pretty hard here. You're not going to ratio the president, especially with an account the size of mine. But considering I got almost 100,000 likes on his tweet that went viral, I think that's pretty well. My most liked tweet ever is dunking on genocide Joe Biden. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, Diddy, yeah. My best tweets are literally the tweets I never seen coming. Because I was like, they were just like me kind of like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I didn't expect this to be a banger. I have 4.1 million impressions on this dunk on Biden. Never happened before. This liberal said, I know you're just really upset that Republicans lost because they're this fucking unserious culture war going on with Taylor Swift that I won't even justify even doing a mini segment over. Being driven crazy with this shit. And if you guys think it's bad where you're at, I know people complaining. If you think this Tay-Tay shit is bad, oh shit, let me send you. I want to make sure that we get Jamu in. If you guys think this Tay-Tay shit is bad where you at, imagine what it's like in Kansas City. I can't get away from this shit. But this is like this Republican Democrat psyop or whatever, because because Taylor just a standard shit lib. So this person say, you must be a Republican. Yeah, I know you're just upset Republicans lost. And not that I'm upset that children have their limbs being blown off. And not that I'm anti-war. The liberals are saying that we are upset because that the Republicans lost their culture war. And I'm like, bro, I fucking live in Kansas City. So, I'll just ratio on people all day. This guy pretending that I go hard at the president because I'm a Republican. I'm still happy the Chiefs won. But I can't enjoy this shit when I see a picture of a girl who had her fucking legs blown off. You guys see why I'm becoming more Rome-like? Why I'm becoming more mentally unstable on stream? There's this picture where everyone want to share it, and I get it. But you guys are traumatizing the shit out of me. But we deserve to be traumatized because we live in an empire. I understand that. There's this picture going around with this girl who has her leg blown off. And think about, if you haven't seen the picture, don't look it up. Most graphic shit you can see. You can see her like with bones hanging out. And then apparently in the story, she was hit with a bomb. Her body was launched 20 feet in the air. And then she landed and was impaled on like some fence structure. So there's like this brutal image of a child impaled with her leg cut off. That's Israel. That's Zionism. This picture that's everywhere on Twitter. Don't go on Twitter. You guys are killing me. There's one of many. And then Zionists and our politicians are justifying this. They say, well, we got to go to war with Hamas. So we got to go. We can't tell Israel what to do. How dare we tell Israel what to do? We go into war with Hamas. So their mindset is if they have an enemy, they are allowed to do whatever they want in order to defeat the enemy, including bombing 12,000 children. At least 12,500 is the number I just recently see. I want you guys to know that number is way higher when you count the people who's going to die from their wounds and the people trapped under rubble. So according to the entirety of the West, the United States and the unhinged Biden administration, that's okay as long as you defeat your enemy. What do you call an ideology in a group of people who believe they can commit whatever crime they want in order to defeat their enemy? That is terrorism. You guys notice how RBN, we're the only people who actually quote law. We're the only people who actually define terms. Fighting against your colonial oppressor does not make you a terrorist. In fact, that is legal under the UN Charter under international law, meaning Hamas is not terrorist. If you believe you have the right to bomb children, to do all the crimes that Israel's committing out of the act of defeating of an enemy, that is what a terrorist is. We are about to start using terms the way they are meant to be used. And I see my brother Njamu here. Welcome. I want to introduce you very soon. Give me a thumbs up whenever you're ready, my brother. But you guys see how Twitter was actively suppressing this shit. You guys know how fucked up this is? I'm in Kansas City. I want to be dancing in the streets too. I want to go to the fucking festival. I want to go to the parade. I want to wave at Patrick Mahomes. I can't do this shit right now. Over 1 million tweets about Rafah. And I think that the highest I seen Rafah was around 13 to 14 on trending. Meanwhile, Mahomes' Super Bowl shit was trending number one despite having less tweets. Because that makes sense, because Super Bowl in America and for American football is a very domestic thing. Like, you guys, I'm a big fan of European football. Like, you guys understand, like, Champions League and international football crushes Super Bowl and NFL. No one gives a fuck about this fucking propaganda bowl bullshit except Americans. So because of that, you got most of the world that's tweeting about Rafah. So Elon Musk, Zionist ran Twitter, has to suppress Rafah and push bullshit propaganda bowl up there. You guys think this is not an accident?